Hey guys, it's WildHeart and welcome to patch 13.19 rundown. This patch is full of interesting changes that I personally expected to happen quite a while, so let's dive right into it. I'm excited to see what this patch prepared to us. Alright, Azure is getting another nerf. I mean, it kinda makes sense to me because Azure is a very dangerous champion to play against on top ranks. He's very annoying to deal with in competitive environments, so I believe that's a decent nerf, and at the same time that's something that can maintain him in a spot of being picked champion, right? And a champion who is still somewhat popular. Obviously, Azure is not going to be super popular, at least as I can see it, because the champion is very difficult to pilot. Usually champions who are like that difficult to pilot, like Azure, are not becoming popular, especially on lower tiers. But yeah. Briar is getting nerfed, it seems, because as far as I remember, when Briar was released, she got something like 38% win rate. After that she got hotfixed, she got buffed, and after that she skyrocketed to 51.5% on high ranks. Yeah, something like that I think. And now she's getting nerfed. Let's see. Base stats attack speed growth is reduced from 2.5% to 2.3. That's kinda a lot considering what champion she is, but let's see what else she has changed. Q Head Rush logic update. Q is now properly tagged as an attack reset for interactions like Hail of Blades. Oh, so Hail of Blades, Hail of Blades didn't get activated. I mean, makes sense considering how this spell works. Blood Frenzy. Show me the Fury. Added a Fury bar to display the remaining duration of Frenzy. That's very good. That's very good. I saw many players were begging for this change to happen. That's good. Tooltip, you don't really care, right? W snack attack healing. So it's kinda the same early and getting reduced by 5% later on. Increase damage against minions and monsters is nerfed by 10%. Okay, maximum percent missing health damage against minions and monsters is reduced as well. I mean, she's getting nerfed at every single possible angle. Slow down there. Added a short minimum cooldown after casting snack attack to prevent double casts with high haste builds. Okay. Chill and Scream. Fixed a bug where knocked back enemies would sometimes not be stunned after hitting player created terrain. So she was getting stunned only, I see, only if there is like wall, but if it would be like an Evia wall or Talia wall, the target wouldn't be stunned. Okay. Certain deaths. Incoming pinging R now tells teammates which enemies are in range. That's good. So it works pretty much like Nocturnal till now. Alright, that's very interesting. I mean, I overall love the adjustments to Briar, I'd say. However, I feel like the nerfs are kinda powerful. I'm not sure if she's gonna remain as popular as she was. Probably it's not too much to completely kill her, but definitely the win rate gonna be lower than 50%, at least as I can see it now. Galio. Ooh, that's not bad. I mean, 20 seconds every level in ulti. That's not bad. I mean, it's kinda obvious that this has to happen since Galio wasn't any popular for like a year now. And I barely saw any Galio players in like last year, yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, he's not picked anywhere. Like, he's not popular on mid lane, he's not popular on support roles, so no point in picking this champion if he's like that with comparing to regular mid laners. So buffing his ultimate is probably the way. It's probably the way because that's like one of the main reasons why you want to pick Galio. Let's see what Gunplank has. Gunplank ultimate is buffed as well. Huh, interesting. I mean, it's very uncommon to see Gunplank being buffed, to be honest. I'm used to seeing him getting some slight nerves because it's very difficult to balance this champion. Like whether this champion is broken or weak, like it's always difficult to balance this champion. It's very difficult to adjust like the slightest number to this champion without making him overpowered or like extremely nerfed, borderline unplayable. And extra 15% slow on Death's Daughter. And the Rise Moral movement speed is increased as well. I mean, that's definitely not a game changer. That's definitely not a game changer, but 10 seconds is cool. 10 seconds is cool. It's not like something that gonna increase Gunplank win rate even by 1%, I believe. But that's cool because Gunplank is fairly hard to pilot. Like seriously, I don't know a single good Gunplank, even at challenger level, aside from Solar Baka. Like seriously, all of the Gunplank players I've met, they're super bad because the champion, like it's not only about the players, right? The champion is just extremely difficult to pilot, therefore you got to be very careful with actually drafting it, right? Like you can lose the game by simply picking it. So yeah, makes sense to buff it a little. Jhin. Alright, so total AD remains the same. And he has some extra flat damage on the ulti. So level 1 is plus 14 damage, it's whatever. But level 2 it's plus 30. Plus 30 is actually something you can notice. And level 16 it's 244 instead of 200. I mean, honestly, that doesn't make Jhin any powerful. Like, the main reason why Jhin is not as strong in solo queue as people expect him to be is pretty much about the items he can build. Whenever Jhin has good items that he can build in meta, he becomes broken. As you can remember, I believe like 3 months ago or 4 months ago, Jhin was super popular with this Gale Force Stormrazor build. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was Gale Force Stormrazor. And Jhin was picked every single lobby. Everyone was happy with Jhin. And nothing been changed about Jhin. Like, his numbers literally the same. But it's more about the items. I don't think it's Jhin issue. Jhin is kinda decent champion numbers wise. Like, he's well balanced champion, I would say. LeBlanc. Ooh, that's interesting. Alright. Base stats. Attack speed ratio is reduced. Attack speed grows increased though. So you nerf your early game, but you buff your late game. Attack damage grows reduced. Mana grows reduced. Mana regeneration grows reduced. Wow. Wow, that's interesting way to nerf AD LeBlanc. Okay. Yeah, and in order to maintain her in meta, I mean, in order to make her somewhat playable after all those nerfs, so that's honestly that's one of the biggest nerfs I've ever seen in my life. Like, all the basic stats are getting nerfed. And they add her what, 5% CP scaling, no basic numbers. It makes sense to me because you don't really want to buff basic numbers on distortion, so LeBlanc cannot just one-shot the wave. Ethereal chains, what do we have there? Plus 5% AP scale. Yeah, I mean, it looks like complete shit to me. Like, honestly, it looks like LeBlanc is going to be completely out of meta. I don't know, like, it looks like in pro play she will remain for quite some time because of AD build, right? Because as far as I remember, in tournament server, you're playing on, not even on the previous patch, probably like 2 patches ago, so it's like 13.17 on tournament server. So they will have at least a month of LeBlanc for now. Yeah, at least a month should be it. But this looks kinda crucial, not gonna lie. Nerfing her early game attack speed is actually so annoying, even for AP LeBlanc, because as AP LeBlanc, you'll be normally going for like auto attack WQ auto attack combo. Now I'm not even sure if you're capable of doing that. Probably you will need to just get electrocute off with your distortion auto attack Q combo, and that's it. Probably no double auto attacks anymore for sure. Blind Monk is getting buffed. Wow, interesting. Base armor +2. That's not a bad start at all. That's not bad buff for a starter at all. Lifesteal and spell vamp. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Alright, so they're just in his late game. Wait, but what's the... Wait, I mean, what's the point? Wait, normally you've been maxing like Q into E, right? Huh. I mean, that's very interesting. Man, this is a good change to listen, not gonna lie. This is very interesting. And this can kinda make him a very impressive champion in early game. Especially in pro play. For pro play, this is so strong, it's crazy. This is one of the champions that is very difficult to balance because he's just good all rounder for high ranks and pro play. That's why I'm so excited about this buff. And minus 20 damage on E. So what's the plan? It's like max in Sonic. I mean, 1 point in Sonic, level 2 Iron Will, into Tempest, with max in Q, and probably now you just don't max E? Or what's the plan? Yeah, probably you just keep E in order to max W. To increase your lifesteal and spell vamp. I'm not sure about that. That's something that I would need to theory craft about and to ask other people what they think about it. But that's very interesting, not gonna lie. Lissandra, W duration increased. Very interesting idea to buff Lissandra, considering the fact how oppressive she is already. And I mean, it's very stupid to buff your W, but she's already picked as support against champions like Rakan. It's like it just makes no point to me. I don't understand that this buff doesn't really matter because it's just, you know, like whether you will be rooted for 1.5 seconds or 1.65 seconds, whatever. Like seriously, whatever. I just don't see the reason to give her even the slightest buff because the champion is totally alright. It's like buffing Chin, or even more stupid because Lissandra has better solo carry potential at this point, especially if she's getting ahead. But alright. Nunu is getting an AP buff on E. Flat damage is the same, but scaling on each hit of E is plus 5%. That's not too much. It doesn't sound too serious. Let's see what else do they buff. Maximum total magic damage. Flat damage remains the same. Wait, what? So if you hit each snowball, it just sums up, right? Including the damage upon reaching an enemy, these totals too. This is some crazy AP ratios, but I believe it just looks as scary as it looks. There's like in game it won't be as scary as it looks. I believe so. Because flat numbers remain the same, and you know, Nunu is very difficult to be played in AP build. Like such a champion who is fairly squishy in AP build, it's very difficult to pilot, so only those players who have some decent amount of playtime with Nunu will benefit from this buff, I believe. Pike. Health grows wait, it's increased, it's not decreased. Huh. But it's whatever, I mean, it's plus 60 HP at level 10. Wow. W cooldown decreased. I mean, it's not even decreased, what do you mean? What do you mean? You, like, you buff his... What's the point? So, they buff his cooldown on W. The spell that he maxes, like, that he's not even maxing, is like the last spell to pick. You max Q and after that you max E. Whatever, like, this makes completely no sense. If you want to buff Pike, find something better to buff, like, I don't know, his Grey HP regeneration, like anything. This is like the worst way to buff him, because it literally makes no benefit for him, like, at all. This would make a solid power up for Pike that he will increase, I don't know, maybe like 0.0.5%, something like that. Rek'Sai, what do we have with Rek'Sai? So her healing is reduced, but scales with levels now. So it was scaling with, yeah, it was scaling every 3 levels. Now it scales with each level. Wait, what is it? What this change is aiming? Let's see. Passive heal decreased, Q damage decreased, W and burrow movement speed decreased, W and burrow base damage increased. Rek'Sai gained a lot of power with Stridebreaker buffs a few patches ago, so we're taking another swing and bringing down her power level. Yeah, what's the point of bringing down Stridebreaker instead of bringing Rek'Sai? What a stupid idea, wow. I mean, Rek'Sai is, like, it's very stupid to nerf Rek'Sai. This champion is not broken, she's very difficult to pilot her well. This is one of few junglers who you need to play aggressively early on in order to get lead. Like, if you want to win the game, you got to be proactive, you got to be decisive, and you shouldn't do any mistakes. If you do one mistake, you're completely doomed in the game. Like, you won't be able to come back, because this is not the jungler who can come back. So I don't see the point. But well, instead of primarily targeting her early damage, so we are providing some small changes here. We are targeting the power level of Burrow, in which high MMR players are disproportionate. Which high MMR players use disproportionately well. She's not early as strong. As she's not nearly as strong in other skill brackets. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They got the point on this one. Rek'Sai is only strong on high Ela. That's true. But in high Ela, she's very oppressive to deal with. Like, if the guy plays Rek'Sai, if he one tricks Rek'Sai, he can just, I mean, she can just 1v9 the game. That's why I can get the idea of nerfing her, but at the same time, you know, you cannot nerf champion for certain divisions. You cannot nerf champion only for high ranks. If you nerf the champion, you nerf it for all the ranks. That's why it will affect lower ranks as well at the same time. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it, and I honestly don't like it. However, I can get the idea why they nerf her. Renekton, getting magic resist nerfed. Kinda whatever. Renekton is not as popular on lower ranks, and on lower ranks usually Renekton is kinda useless because people don't really understand what to do with Renekton's early game potential, as Renekton is kinda you know, he's kinda similar with Rek'Sai at this point. He wants to pressure early, he's strong mid game, he's not as strong in late game. However, if you understand how to use his ulti effectively, he can be really strong. He can be like really strong. Syndra, Q magic damage increased. So flat damage, not bad. Not bad. Plus 5 damage at level 9. Wow. So basically plus 5 damage at every level. I mean, considering the fact that we don't see that many AP casters being popular on mid lane position now, I can get the idea of buffing like all the AP casters. However, I don't think that's exactly what she need. I mean, better having this than nothing, but you know, doesn't look too good. Twitch. Air missile speed increased. Wait, what? I don't understand that. It's not that serious, you know. It's not like a massive buff, but what the hell is the point of buffing Twitch? I mean, he's one of solid ADCs. Like, he's not broken, but he's very decent. But you know, at the same time, it's not damage, it's not attack speed, it's not ability haste. So the idea of increasing his ulti is not that biggie, I would say. It's fine. Another nerf to Zeri. Wow. I mean, honestly, I love the idea of nerfing Zeri to the ground because on high ranks, Zeri is very oppressive to play against, especially when scripters are playing her. It's just worst experience ever possible. So yeah, better nerf Zeri. Randuin Soulman. This is massive. This is super massive, especially combined with Frozen Heart's price of 2700. This is fucking massive. This is very good. I don't understand that Randuin remains niche, but at the same time, it won't be just ignored as it is now, and you won't be autopiloting into Frozen Heart now. Now you have actual choice between Frozen Heart and Randuin, so it's a very good buff. Seeker's Arm Ward getting buffed. Very interesting buff. I mean, it's only a component anyway, so it's kinda a good item regardless. However, you don't really get Seeker's Arm Guard early now, even if you're playing against assassins like that. Assassins like Zed, like Kiana, like Talon, like anything. You don't really benefit from this item as long as we have this mythic items concept. As long as mythic items are going to be a thing, I don't think Seeker's Arm Guard is going to be as popular as like its mythic counterparts. I mean, when I say mythic counterparts, don't get me wrong, I don't mean the finished mythic item. I mean the parts like a Noon Quiver or Lost Chapter, something like that. Static Shift. What's that, like 5th nerf in a row or 8th nerf? Like I actually lost count. Like, these items get nerfed more often than I see it purchased in the game. Like, to be honest with you guys, but I can get the idea because this item was just too oppressive when they released it. But at the same time, you know, you have balanced team. Like, you guys have balanced team. Like, how you can, like, on a serious note, how you can approach the as a developer, as a balanced team, how you can approach a League community with the idea of adding such an item like Static Shield with 250 damage to minions and monsters and 60% AP scaling on it. Like, how you can come up with this idea? Like, it's just crazy to me. Oh, this one is very interesting. Behavioral systems. Ranked solo duo tends to be the cube with the highest rate of disruptive behavior effect. The added intensity of every game mattering is fun, but sometimes the pressure proves to be great. We want to give players who are feeling the pressure of the ranked environment a way to reconnect with a more relaxed version of League of Legends, while at the same time introducing a penalty that is hard to work around by switching accounts for a week. For more detailed information on ranked restriction, check out the player support article here. Ranked restriction. Now when receiving penalties for disruptive behavior, you can receive ranked restrictions in addition to other penalties. I've been reading about this one, but I didn't expect Riot to implement it that quickly. And ironically, well done, Riot. That had to happen long ago. I'm not sure if it will solve the situation, and I'm not sure how quickly it will solve the situation, if it will, but I definitely love to see that. These keep you from playing ranked game modes until you clear them. Good, something like low priority in Dota. Makes sense. Re-enabling ranked. Get rid of your ranked restriction by playing 5 games of a non-ranked game mode. These queues include blind pick, draft pick, ARAM, and rotating game modes. Yeah, people will just spam ARAM to get rid of these 5 games in a span of 2 hours. Makes sense. Ping adjustments. In an effort to alleviate some of the toxicity players can face in their games, we've developed some new functionality that allows us to adjust the recipients of pings. While self-pings, enemy pings, and neutral pings are unaffected, we're changing the behavior of pinging allied states. We think it's important that you can quickly understand exactly how long it will take for an ally's ultimate or summoner spell to come back from cooldown. Wait. Okay. But a significant segment of players ping their teammates' death timers and the like for non-constructive reasons. That's true. And we think the game as a whole is better without this. What? Wait. In this patch we are tuning every ally ping to display only... Wait, in this patch we are tuning every ally ping to display only to the pinger so that they can gather whatever information they need without abusing the feature as a means of harassing teammates. We also have work in progress for the bait ping that's nearing completion. We'll monitor player feedback and behavior to see if we need to make any updates going forward. Unironically, this is the worst change I've ever seen in my entire life in League of Legends. Like, seriously, this is like, I don't know, maybe I got it wrong, but it sounds like a complete disaster to me. Pinging any allied information on the tab scoreboard and user interface now only displays that information to the pinger in that any allied information on the tab scoreboard and user interface now only displays that information to the pinger in the chat and will be designated by self. This will affect the follow pings: allied level, allied portrait, allied ultimate cooldown, allied primary and secondary rune trees, allied summoner spell 1 and 2, allied item slots. Alright. The following pings have not been changed and will still be displayed to your entire team. Pinging your own information in the scoreboard pings as normal to allies. Okay. Pinging neutral and enemy information in the scoreboard dragon timers, enemy summoner spells, etc. prints out as normal to allies. Pinging your own character portraits prints out that value for your team. Nah, and ironically, this is worst change you can come up with. Like, this is something around the level of static shield being added as it was added. Like seriously, guys, like, just work around it. Like do something. Like, what's the point? Like, if someone just tries too hard with spam pinging and like uses it in a negative way, just, I don't know, create an AI that will identify whether the ping is toxic or not, like if the guy is pumping in a negative way or not, or just bring back the tribunal system so people could judge them, could judge the situation like by themselves. Why would you find, like, why the only solution you can find is just to removing pings, as this is like the only communication in the game. Like, we don't have voice chat in the game that is entirely team oriented, and you want to remove you want to partially remove the communication. Like, if I'm, for example, if I'm support and I'm pinging summoners that enemy champions don't have, and I want to ping, I don't know, heal of my ADC to show that we have this benefit of one summoner advantage. Why is it bad? Or if I'm pinging the fact that my ADC has power spike, like, like Kraken Slayer against Noon Quiver on enemy ADC. Why I cannot ping it? Why I cannot ping the fact that my ADC is level 6 and enemy is level 5, so we have this advantage as well. It's like so many questions, and the solution, and I don't see any solutions. It looks like complete bullshit to me. Like, it's like, seriously, it's super bad. That's very toxic to League of Legends as a game. At least as I can see it, it's very bad. But yeah, what do we have there? If a sign outs you in the jungle and you have no sound, it definitely still happens. That's why we are introducing our newest accessibility update, Champion Sound Notifications. These clouds will help you spot key champion abilities whether you're playing without audio or if you're just engaged in an epic duel and can't hear. You can now... Wow, that's interesting. That's very interesting because I remember I've been coaching some players who had this issue that they're playing without sound in the game and they're listening to music, so they just couldn't hear some stuff like Jinx ulti, Ezreal ulti, Ashe ulti, like pretty much anything global could be problematic for them. So I'm really happy about that, yeah. That's very good for some players. But well, hope this change will be reverted as quickly as possible, even before this patch ends, because this definitely has to be hotfixed. This is a huge issue, and yeah, feels really bad to see that happening to League of Legends, my favorite game. But yeah, let's not be sad. Hope next day will bring something good. Thank you for watching this video, guys, and see you in the next patch. See you in patch 13.20. Hope next patch will be brighter.